publicity when the film hit to come out and try to blame it all on him. None of it was just due to the fact that she seems like a rather person. Then he managed to convince Blake Lively to star in it with him, and all hell broke loose. She claims he's her, and then by the time they premiered the movie, they weren't even speaking to each other. She made him stay in the basement.
So normal people at home who don't care about this woman at all are looking at her like, I don't like her.
A Hollywood legal battle heads to a New York City courtroom today with a hearing on the lawsuit between actors Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. The U.S. District Judge in the case is holding a video conference on a motion for a protective order.
We need to talk because things are looking increasingly troubling for Blake Lively. Could she actually face legal consequences following the latest revelations from Megyn Kelly? It seems like Kelly's statements might be the final factor that determines Blake's fate. If you've been following the situation, you know Blake has been caught up in an ongoing legal battle. The lawsuits, accusations, and constant back and forth have turned into a major controversy. Just when it seemed like things were settling down, new developments have emerged, and this could be the decisive moment. Let's break it all down. Blake Lively made headlines when she accused her It Ends With Us co-star and director, Justin Baldoni, of harassment. However, from the start, many questioned the legitimacy of her claims. Was she being truthful, or was there more to the story? Then came an unexpected twist. Justin Baldoni responded with a countersuit, alleging that Blake had fabricated her accusations and even manipulated the situation to gain control over the film. This is where things start to get complicated. Despite Blake's serious claims against Baldoni, a Hollywood intimacy coordinator has raised some concerns about the narrative. Mia Shakar, known for her work on Lessons in Chemistry, Insecure, and Perry Mason, recently shared her perspective in a Channel 5 documentary. She weighed in on the dispute between Blake and Justin, offering some insights that could shift public perception. According to Shakar, after reviewing their text exchanges, it appeared that Blake and Justin shared a genuine bond at some point, whether as friends or possibly something more. But that's not all. Shakar also pointed out a detail that might raise some eyebrows. She explained that, in her professional experience, when an actor declines to meet with the intimacy coordinator until the actual filming of intimate scenes, it often signals trust in their co-star. If this is accurate, it raises a critical question. Why would someone who felt unsafe around their scene partner refuse to engage with an intimacy coordinator in advance? Hollywood productions place immense importance on on-set safety, particularly for intimate scenes. If Blake truly had concerns about working with Justin, why wouldn't she take the necessary precautions by involving the intimacy coordinator from the start?
Coordinator early.
Blake Lively is very dissatisfied with virtually everything around her and decides to allege that Justin Baldoni, forgive me, very effeminate, evolved, modern feminist man bun kind of guy, is like this virulent who can't stop one of the biggest stars in Hollywood in front of everybody on the set. I've got questions. I'm not sure why he would do that, whether he'd have the guts to do that, or whether the man bun is the most likely in general.
Enter Megyn Kelly, who did not hold back when discussing Blake Lively's ongoing controversy on her Sirius XM show. Kelly was highly critical, referring to Blake as a habitual fraudster and stating that she had single-handedly damaged her own reputation. And truthfully, many people are beginning to share that sentiment. According to Kelly, every claim Blake has made has been refuted with solid evidence, text messages, receipts, and more. She also pointed out that Baldoni's proof significantly alters the perception of Blake's accusations, making them appear vastly different from how she initially portrayed them. So now, the real question is, did Blake Lively ultimately undermine her own case?
So she's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud. When you pretend you want to do the one thing and you'll do the thing they're hiring you for, but all along you have secret plans to do something very, very different that's above your pay grade.
Now, let's discuss this alleged secret plan of Blake Lively's. If true, she essentially admitted at the Forbes Power Women Summit that she has a strategy to take control of any film she's cast in. She openly stated that she initially presents herself as just an actress, but once she secures the role, she begins making demands. Imagine hiring someone for a specific job, only for them to suddenly take charge. That's quite unexpected. While some directors were fine with it, others were not. And it seems Justin Baldoni was among those who didn't approve. Megyn Kelly was particularly critical of Blake's revelation on her podcast, where she outright called it fraud. And to be fair, she may have a point. If Blake was hired as an actress but had undisclosed intentions of assuming control over the entire production, that's not just ambition, it's something entirely different. Kelly also noted that Baldoni wasn't a major industry figure, so he lacked the influence to resist Blake's alleged takeover. Meanwhile, she reportedly pressured him into allowing her to create her own version of the film. That's right, 2 versions of It Ends With Us were made, and interestingly, Baldoni's version received better feedback from test audiences. However, Blake's version is the one that was ultimately released. How did that happen? Allegedly through coercion. According to Baldoni's lawsuit, Blake threatened to remove a Taylor Swift song from the trailer, something she apparently had the authority to do. She also allegedly planned to boycott the press tour, which could have significantly harmed the film's promotional efforts. If true, this raises some serious concerns about how the final cut of the movie came to be.
Started to rewrite scenes that nobody had asked her to rewrite.
What? That's just wild to me.
Now, this is where things go from messy to outright questionable. Instead of taking responsibility, Blake allegedly attempted to shift the blame onto Baldoni for her PR troubles. According to Megyn Kelly, Blake went as far as to suggest that her brief wave of negative publicity was entirely Baldoni's fault. Kelly wasn't convinced, implying that the backlash had more to do with Blake's own actions and public persona. Let's be honest, Blake didn't exactly do herself any favors. Rather than keeping the focus on It Ends With Us, she was busy promoting her hair care line, non-alcoholic beverage brand, and practically everything except the actual film. And then there was that awkward, out-of-touch remark, "Grab your girls, wear your florals." The issue? This is a movie about domestic violence, not a casual outing with friends. The response was immediate. People criticized her for being tone-deaf and accused her of trivializing a serious subject by reducing it to a fashion trend.
And Ryan Reynolds have hired former CIA agents with a proven track record of lying to the public, gaslighting the public, to help her with PR.
Instead of accepting responsibility and moving forward, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds allegedly attempted to shift the burden onto Baldoni. Reports suggest that they even drafted a public apology and expected Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer Studios, to release it, as if they were responsible for Blake's PR troubles. Naturally, Baldoni's team refused, questioning why this was suddenly their problem. While opinions on Megyn Kelly vary, she may have a point here. On her podcast, she took things a step further by comparing Blake Lively to Amber Heard, and that's not a comparison anyone wants right now. Kelly stated, "She does appear like an Amber Heard to me." Let's not forget, Heard's 2022 defamation trial was one of the most significant celebrity legal battles, ultimately costing her millions after the court ruled against her. For Kelly to put Blake in the same conversation, that's a serious accusation. And this isn't just about reputation. Baldoni is seeking $400 million in damages. He has accused Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and their teams of spreading manipulated information to damage his credibility. He's even suing the New York Times for defamation, claiming they selectively presented text messages to strengthen Blake's Babu case. In response, Baldoni has taken matters into his own hands by launching a website where he's publishing what he claims are unedited messages, giving the public full access to the evidence. So far, these messages have raised significant doubts about Blake's allegations and have weakened her claims about taking control of the film. At this stage, the question isn't just whether Blake Lively is being truthful, it's how severe the fallout could be. If Baldoni wins, Blake and Ryan could lose millions, and her career might take a serious hit. And if any of these claims venture into criminal territory, the situation could escalate further. According to legal filings, Ryan Reynolds has moved to dismiss the case, arguing that Baldoni's lawsuit fails to prove defamation. Instead, Reynolds' lawyers claim the allegations are an attempt to attack his character, portraying Baldoni as envious of the public image Reynolds has built. Essentially, Ryan suggests Baldoni is acting out of resentment. Blake Lively also isn't backing down. She filed her own motion to dismiss, calling Baldoni's lawsuit a vengeful and rambling mess. She accused him of exploiting the legal system for personal retaliation and demanded that all claims against her be dismissed with prejudice, meaning Baldoni wouldn't be able to refile. Additionally, she is seeking compensation for reputational and emotional distress. But here's the twist. None of these efforts worked. Despite all their legal maneuvering, the judge denied both motions to dismiss, ensuring that this lawsuit is moving forward. Now, Blake and Ryan are officially locked in a high-stakes legal battle that could cost them millions. And let's be honest, if they truly had nothing to hide, wouldn't they be eager to go to trial and clear their names? Instead, they attempted to shut things down before the evidence could even be presented. Blake Lively seems to understand the gravity of the situation, because when you bring in former CIA officials for crisis management, it's no longer just a PR issue, it's a full-scale emergency. Reports indicate that she has enlisted Nick Shapiro, a former CIA deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to ex-director John Brennan, to help navigate this legal crisis involving Justin Baldoni.
It is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni Day. Finally. I've been teasing that all week, and let me just say to all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever go full Amber.
Her YouTube videos and TikToks on the subject have amassed over 130 million views. Yes, million. People who had never even heard of her before are now following the drama closely. She even went so far as to predict that this case could surpass Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard in significance, which is a bold claim.
And we have to compartmentalize. Blake Lively is not a good person. So no matter what happens in this lawsuit, no matter who wins in the end, do not let it distract you from the fact that she has proven herself not to be a kind person.
And Candace Owens isn't the only one drawing attention to this case. Other conservative media figures, including Brett Cooper, have also weighed in, amplifying the controversy. At this point, Baldoni's team seems fully aware of the media strategy at play. His attorney, Brian Friedman, even acknowledged how podcasters, YouTubers, and TikTok creators have kept this case in the spotlight. You've seen social media and these TikTokers and people on YouTube, they're incredible, he stated. And he has a point. The narrative favoring Baldoni is spreading rapidly across platforms. Now, let's be honest. Celebrities rarely face jail time, even when serious allegations arise. But if Megyn Kelly is correct, and Blake truly manipulated events to this extent, she could be facing significant legal repercussions. Fraud, defamation, and contract breaches are just a few of the potential charges that could come into play, making this situation far more serious than just a PR crisis. Currently, the legal proceedings are still unfolding, but if Baldoni's countersuit holds up, Blake might be in far deeper trouble than she anticipated. And if any aspect of this case moves into criminal territory, the stakes will rise dramatically, not just for her career, but for her personal freedom as well. This entire situation is unfolding into a major controversy. Blake Lively's reputation is on the line, and Megyn Kelly has ensured that the public is paying attention. So, what do you think? Is Blake Lively facing the consequences of her own actions, or is this just another media-fueled scandal? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this developing story.